Hello YouTube, HPZ here again today, and wow, we're back at this. It's not over. It's continuing. So for those of you who haven't watched it yet, I suggest you watch the first part of this, and I'll probably post a link in the description below or somewhere. I highly suggest you just follow that first, and that one at least as something that I can teach you about school fees and trusting companies and that sort of stuff. Unfortunately, this one not so much. So where we left off is I had the motherboard sent into evetech, and Aramax let me know that it's delayed and it's not going to get there in a timely fashion. It's going to get there sometime this week. Today is Thursday. And on Monday, which is a public holiday, I got an email stating that it's been delivered to evetech, which is weird. Public holiday and they're open and whatever. So I left it. I wanted them to have a look at it. I've already got another motherboard, and I wanted them to check this out, see what's wrong, RMA it preferably, get the board swapped, because I know and you know that board is faulty. Because, well, swapping it with this B450 solved everything. I haven't had any post issues. I've been gaming for hours on end on the system. It hasn't given me so much as a blue screen of death. So fast forward to today, and we're going to do a little bit of switching over here. I just want to see if I can get like second screen. There we go. And I received this. Good afternoon. Trust you well. The RMA components that was sent in for RMA has been completed and is ready for shipping. So what's interesting here is they use the American date format. They couldn't be bothered to change it to the South African one. Day, month, year. This looks like month, day, year. So you know you're dealing with a quality company. I've also blurred out the name of the technician that sent me this for obvious reasons. So we can see at the bottom that this is where, because it's bottom from top, makes sense, right? Okay, so we can see that this is being received from RMX. This is, yeah, they've gone there, it's got sent through. Okay, client notified within 7 days. Yeah, whatever. And now this is what the technician wrote. Now I want you to pay careful attention to the times that this process took place. BIOS was updated as it was outdated. Okay. Tested, working 100%. Shipping. Got the board. Tested it, found it didn't post. Updated the BIOS, because if it doesn't post, you can't check the current BIOS version that's on there. You just can't. And then tested it within 8 seconds. And then sent it off to shipping another 10 seconds later. At this stage, I was absolutely beyond upset. I was furious. First thing I did, grab the phone, try to phone evetech. At least this time you get like the normal option menu. It doesn't give you that automated message where it just basically says email us. So you choose option number 0 for the operator. It rings for 10 minutes, no one answers. Okay. You choose option number 1 for sales, 10 minutes, no one answers. Choose option number 2 for technical department. You get a message stating please email us. Option 3 transfers you to RMX. Option 4 is supposed to be more details about the company. It doesn't work. It takes you back to the main menu. So I jumped onto Twitter and I tweeted them, guys, you're not answering your phone again. Okay, I then had to, after I tweeted that, I went to the main page on Twitter and I had a look, and they've got a message up stating that their sales department is closed. Yeah, well, if you press number 2, you hear that also. So I posted at the bottom there, guys, you need to answer, okay, I've been having this problem. These are the things I've been experiencing. Put that down, went out for a smoke break because I am now furious because there's a lot of lies in there, and I'll cover those in a little bit. So I went outside, had a smoke, came back, tried again, tried several options, and eventually I got through to a gentleman who's their salesman. Well, first I got through to a sales associate, where I tried to explain that I need to talk to a manager, and I couldn't get through to their telephones, and his immediate response was, and I'm going to full screen for this, sorry, we are so busy at the moment. We can't take any calls because we are so busy. To which I replied, well, if you look at how you're treating your customers, it's no wonder that you're so busy. If you don't help people, if you don't answer emails, if you don't take phone calls, people are going to be on your case. They're going to phone you. They're going to phone you multiple times. They're going to be upset by the time they speak to someone. Case in point, I was upset. Nonetheless, eventually got through to a manager. Explained to the manager that I got this email, and I did actually reply to this email as well, which I basically said, this is factually not true. So I replied to them and basically said, that BIOS, I know for a fact I had it updated. I go to MSI's website, which we can go now at the moment. Oh no, you guys can see all of my stuff. Okay, that one might have to close. MSI. Oh, let's just go this way. X470 on econtra.co.za. They don't have a South African website. MSI Gaming Pro, which is the board I had. Support. I had this BIOS installed, and I had it installed for more than like 2-3 days already. This was installed on the system, was there. Okay, and how can BIOS be responsible for making a system stop posting 3 days in afterwards? If you flash a BIOS that's not compatible, the system will not post the moment you flash it. It won't take 3 days for the system to stop working. And it won't be like updating all of the previous BIOSes that I had before. Because I've jumped every single BIOS as they came out, updated. There was about 3 of them in total from this list that I updated every single one. Every single one, that system hated booting up with it. But eventually it did. I covered that in the previous video. So it had that BIOS on it. It had the latest BIOS on it. So reflashing that, okay, even if the system posts afterwards, doesn't mean you've solved the problem. The system has other issues, okay, and the BIOS will not make the system stop posting a few days later. It will not do it. It just doesn't happen. I've been building computers long enough to know that. Anyway, he came back to me and he said that he's going to make sure that they actually test it properly and get things working. I got this back from the technician not long after that. So according to him, unfortunately the BIOS on the motherboard that was on is the following version. Okay, 7B79V1E. Okay, it's your BIOS revision. That's correct. Okay. I updated it via MSI tool. Okay, no, yeah, I've tested the motherboard with all components and did get the same issue with that BIOS version. How? Why would MSI release a BIOS that has hardware incompatibility with the recommended system, recommended components on the website? They recommend the RAM I'm using. That's also on their website. Okay, nonetheless, so he updated it with MSI tool. How? The system doesn't post. You can't get into Windows. you can't run MSI tool. Okay, there's been 2 other releases, so according to him, that revision has different release dates. Okay, maybe that's possible. I don't know MSI. It's plausible. Okay. If you wish, I can run more tests, but unfortunately this will only be in the new year. Isn't that a thing? Didn't we know this was going to happen? Didn't I know that they're going to try and do that and I'm not going to get a system until the new year? So that's why I paid my school fees and I got another motherboard to test. Also means I could basically figure out that, you know what, it is the motherboard that was causing those random issues. If you have any other questions, please do not hesitate to ask. So I did. I took him up on that offer, to which I replied. Please find the screenshot taken 60 seconds ago from MSI website. No mention of the biases you listed below. Because why would they have a bias on MSI tool but not on their main website? It doesn't make sense, but maybe it's plausible. I don't know MSI. I don't have another MSI board to quickly run MSI tool to see if I can download those biases. Maybe someone watching this does. They can let me in. Let me know. Default, okay, so fair enough. So flashing that rectified the post problem. How did you test the other problems I described in my original email? Because this is important. How did you test for those? Okay. Yeah, I absolutely hate. Where were we? There. Okay. That's where I described that day one fault where once out of every 10 boots, the system will get to Windows, black screen on the one screen, and Windows will freeze. Played an hour to 2 hours, you'll get 15 to 20 seconds of microstutter. Well, not even microstutter. I can describe that as stutter. Luckily, we've got the live recordings with that, so you can view those. Okay. And finally, if I receive the board back and it still gives me hassles, I'm sure it will. Swapping out the board with another B450, which I know it's not the X series, the B series, 1 tier down. But you know what, swapping with another motherboard solved all my problems. What will the recourse be? Because I've heard some horror stories where evetech will only, because luckily after the last video, people contacted me. People talk about their experience. So evetech would only do RMA, they only pay for shipping to them and back from them once. You do it a second time, they tell you you need to pay for that. Bear that in mind. So we know that this guy had the board. I don't know what happened. It's close to December. It's close to the end of the year. They don't have time. They have 100 people phoning them, wanting their stuff automated. I get that. I understand that. That's fine. But that doesn't mean you should cut corners. You have to be a respectable company, you know. So what happened was this board arrived at his desk. He's like, oh, this doesn't post. Okay, let's plug in postcard, see what the error code is. It's hanging at the BIOS or something. So with my postcard code, that's what I got as well. So it's like, okay, we're going to do a flash recovery of this. So you plug a little hardware program on the EEPROM, you recover it. There's also MSI one where you have to press power and no CPU, no memory, and it will recover. I tried that, I couldn't get that working. And recovered it, and we went, must be because this was an old BIOS, and I'm going to state it's an old BIOS. So BIOS was updated. Okay, it's now posting, tested working 100%. Got my components in there, it's working. Moving to shipping, take the thing, put it by shipping. That's what happened here. Even though my complaint originally, and that's a quote from my original complaint, was, this is from my original complaint that I sent them, is that I've had all of these problems. Anyone in IT worth their salt would go, hardware problem. But that's not the end. I got a response back. Now, apparently that sales manager contacted him and said he must test it. He's going to test it until the closing time. Now, this was at 3 o'clock. They close at 5. He's not going to get like 3 hours of testing in. And I'd like to know what sort of testing he does as well. I will be taking screenshots of the testing. Because you can take a screenshot of micro-stuttering. You can totally take it. I'm being sarcastic. You can't. If the system is experiencing micro-stuttering, you take a screenshot, you'll just see a picture of the system running. If I had to guess what he's going to do is run Prime 95 or mem test or something like that for 3 hours, none of those test the actual faults that I had. None of those test the fact that it doesn't post all the time. You have to physically go and game on the thing for 3 hours. And then you will experience it. And that you can't take a screenshot of. You can't do that. It's not physically possible. You can take a video. And I've got video. So. Also, he wants me to know what SSD or hard drive. I know where he got that. Because if you Google X470 microstutter, there's a post with a whole bunch of idiots that says it's the hard drive or the SSD, which I know it isn't, because even though I didn't mention it to them in the last video because I really didn't think that it's going to go down this route. I did test it with a Samsung Evo 860, which I loaned, and that's the same thing. I had that for a day or two, just clone my SSD over to that. And yeah, I know, I did email him back now exactly the model of SSD that I had before. It's OCZ Theon 100. But do you know what the irony of all of this is? I'm going to switch over to full screen. Okay, second screen again for you guys. This is what I've got in there at the moment. HP SSD 920 512 gig. I bought that from evetech on Black Friday, not knowing my system isn't going to work by that Saturday. By the time the system broke is when I got this, well, the following Saturday. By the time the system broke is when I got this NVMe, brand new HP NVMe drive in my hands to put into the system. And I know it's not the SATA drive all there. NVMe, I would have put this in, it would have been the same, because I tested with another SSD. So guys, lesson time. And sorry for posting this video, but this might sound like me, it's like entitled and upset and everything else. I'm ranting, I'm upset. And I'd rather like rant to the camera than like come home and have like an evening that I'm not feeling well, not feeling great or anything like that. But nonetheless, there's bugger all of my SSD. That guy didn't test the thingy. He didn't test the thing for microstutter. I would love to know how he's going to take screenshots of microstuttering. Oh. I mean, one of the best ways to tell it was microstuttering was with the audio cutting in and out. That's how I know it was. Nonetheless, anyway, guys, that's HPZ signing off. And just a reminder, I'm not making any money on these videos. These are not, I don't have AdSense enabled on them or anything like that. I see no reason to profit from a company that's absolutely terrible. But yeah, my worst fear in the previous video came true. They basically did the absolute minimum and they're saying no, the board is fine.